You ever feel like you're just scratching the surface with AI? Well, you're not alone. There is a huge skill gap out there. But here's the secret. Getting ahead of 99% of people, it's actually way simpler than you'd think. And that's because, as entrepreneur Dan Martell puts it, most people just don't have the right AI skills. See, the top 1%, they're using AI in a completely different way. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how they do it. So, that's the big question, right? How are they getting these incredible results? Well, that's what we're here to unpack. Think of this as your personal roadmap, your guide to the 9 essential AI skills that separate the absolute pros from, well, everyone else. Okay, so we're going to build this up across 4 key areas. We'll start with the basics, the core interaction. Then we'll get into how to make AI your own by personalizing it. From there, we level up to building AI systems. And finally, we're going to shift your entire perspective with the expert mindset. All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, Mastering the Core Interaction. This is all about the fundamentals, how to talk to your AI effectively so you get great results right from the start. These first 2 skills, they're the foundation for everything else. First up, skill number 1, prompt engineering. Look, we've all heard that saying, garbage in, garbage out, right? Well, it has never been more true than with AI. This skill is the art and science of writing prompts that get you the best possible output. But here's what most people miss. A really great prompt isn't just a question. Nope, it has 4 key parts. So here's the recipe. First, you give the AI a role. Tell it act like a world-class marketer or be a seasoned financial analyst. This focuses its massive brain, so you get an expert opinion, not some generic answer. Second, give it context. The more it knows about your situation, your goals, your audience, the better. Third, the command. You got to be crystal clear. And finally, format. Tell it exactly how you want the answer. You want a table, bullet points, a script? Spell it out. Okay, so you've written a great prompt, but how do you know if the answer you get back is actually excellent? That brings us to a super important second skill, taste curation. This is all about knowing what great really looks, sounds, and feels like. It's how you guide the AI to a world-class result instead of just settling for, meh, good enough. I love this quote, and it's from Ben Affleck, of all people. He said, "Being a craftsman is knowing how to work, but art is knowing when to stop." That art he's talking about, that's taste. It's what makes the difference between a decent AI output and a truly exceptional one. It's knowing when to say, okay, that's it, it's perfect. And the great thing is, taste isn't some magic power you're born with. You can totally develop it. First, build a taste library. Just start collecting examples of world-class work in your field. Second, get better at communication. So instead of saying, make it cool, you say, give it a minimalist, high-tech aesthetic with a blue and silver color palette. See the difference? And third, create universal rules. Just write down your preferences. That makes your taste something real, something you can actually teach to your AI. Okay, we've nailed the fundamentals of a good conversation. Now, section 2 is where we take it to the next level. We're talking about personalizing your AI assistant, making it a true extension of yourself. And that brings us right to skill number 3, the master prompt. Look, if your AI sounds like a generic stranger, it's probably because you haven't introduced yourself properly. A master prompt is basically your personal briefing document. It's one file with everything about you, your role, your context, your preferences, that you give the AI at the start of every single chat. And just look at the difference this makes. On one side, without a master prompt, you get generic answers and you're constantly explaining yourself. But on the other side, the AI becomes your personal assistant. It just gets you, instantly. You get these hyper-personalized, context-aware responses. It is a total, and I mean total, game changer. But hey, even the best personal assistant doesn't nail it on the first try, right? That's where skill number 4 comes in, output iteration. The top 1%, they never accept the first draft. They see it as just a lump of clay. Then they start sculpting. They fight with the AI, they tweak, they refine until it's absolutely perfect. And if you think that sounds like a lot of effort, get this. A team of just 5 AI experts used, wait for it, 70,000 prompts to create a single Coca-Cola commercial. 70,000! That is what relentless, world-class iteration looks like in the real world. So, you figured out how to create one perfect output. Awesome. But how do you do that efficiently, over and over again? Well, that's what Section 3 is all about, building repeatable AI systems. This is where you basically become an AI programmer, but your programming language is just words.
And this is where we get to skill number 5, the system prompt. Now, it's really important to see how this is different from a master prompt. Your master prompt tells the AI who you are. The system prompt tells it how to do a specific repeatable job. So think of it this way. The master prompt is your digital ID card. A system prompt? That's a custom little program you write, like a daily social media post generator that you can run every single day without having to explain the rules all over again.
Now, as you start building all these systems, you can actually run into a pretty surprising problem, having too much of a good thing. Yep, it is totally possible to give an AI so much information that it just gets confused. And the solution is skill number 7, context compression. This is the art of using the AI itself to shrink a huge pile of info down to just its essential core. And this chart really shows you the power of this. The original source material here was 2 million words of context. I mean, way too much for an AI to handle effectively. Using a compression prompt, that was shrunk by 90% down to just 200,000 words. All the essential details are still there, but now the information is actually usable. Okay, so after all this work, creating master prompts, system prompts, compressed context, you're going to have a lot of valuable assets floating around. And that leads us to skill number 8, knowledge-based gardening. Seriously, just like a real garden, your AI workspace needs weeding. A messy mind leads to messy prompts. So by using projects and folders to keep everything clean and organized, you make sure you get consistency and quality every single time. We've covered the techniques. Now for the final, and honestly, the most important part, the mindset. Section 4 is all about adopting the expert mindset. This is where we completely shift how you think about what AI can truly be. So part of this expert mindset is recognizing a real danger. By default, AI is designed to be a people pleaser. It just agrees with you, which leads to a critical question. Is your AI just a yes man? The pros, they don't want a yes man. They want a sparring partner. They want something to challenge their assumptions, stress test their ideas, and expose their blind spots. And that's our 6th skill, using your AI as a critic. So how do you actually do that? Well, it's a pretty simple process. First, you explicitly tell the AI, act as a devil's advocate and critique this. Next, you tell it to break down that criticism using first principles so you get to the fundamental truth of the matter. And then, and this is key, you capture those valuable insights and use them to update your master prompt. So you're not just getting smarter, your AI is too. This whole idea really comes down to a fundamental shift in how you see this tool. You have to stop thinking of ChatGPT or any other AI as just a chatbot. It's not. It's a creative operating system. And when you embrace that mindset, you unlock our 9th and final skill, personalized learning. The top 1% don't just use AI to get tasks done. No way. They use it to become world-class experts in basically any subject whenever they want, co-creating brand new knowledge with their AI partner. So it's time to stop using AI in beginner mode. You now have the exact framework the top 1% are using. You have the skills to go way beyond just simple tasks and to actually partner with AI to create something extraordinary. So really, the only question left is, what will you co-create?